Today I'm going to tell all of you the story of Karan and Arjun. Yes, not the Karan and Arjun of India, but the Karan and Arjun of Sweden. This is the Vitpilen 250 and the Svartpilen 250, and they belong to the Husqvarna family. I have been riding this bike along with Farhan Khan here, and I'm sure Farhan must be having a few questions for me. What questions, Farhan?
बिल्कुल सर। इस बाइक के बारे में बात करने से पहले मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ कि इस कंपनी का और बजाज का क्या रिलेशन है और ये कंपनी कहाँ से इंडिया में आई है?
That's a very interesting question. Yes, Husqvarna is basically a company from Sweden, but the most important thing is this company was initially bought by MV Agusta, and later on BMW Motorrad bought it, and finally KTM of Austria bought it. और आप जानना चाहते हो कि बजाज का इसमें क्या है रोल?
Right, sir.
Interestingly, few years back, Bajaj did a very great shopping, and that's where I would say a great move by Rajiv Bajaj. He went and bought a 48% equity stake in KTM AG. Now you should remember KTM AG of Austria has 3 motorcycles under it. One is KTM, of course, which is there in India. Now Husqvarna is now in India, and there's a third company which many of you may not know. It goes by the name of Gas. Now that's a professional off-roading bike company. Well, these 3 bikes come under KTM AG, but you'll be wondering who owns the rest.
Right.
Well, there's a bigger company which goes by the name of Pierer Mobility AG. Well, that's controlled by a gentleman by the name of Stephen Pierer. Well, that company owns 51% in this KTM AG, and the rest by Bajaj Auto. And ये जो company है, Pierer Mobility AG, that's a very big company. It has a lot of other products also. In fact, they also have a company that makes shock absorbers, which is there on the Husqvarna bikes.
Okay.
WP. And it has electric bicycle company. So it has a whole range of business.
तो इसका मतलब हम कहना चाहेंगे अगर हम ये बाइक लेते हैं तो हमें सेल्स एंड सर्विस की कोई भी दिक्कत नहीं आने वाली, क्योंकि ये सब बजाज ओन कर रहा है KTM के थ्रू.
That's right. This is owned by Bajaj Auto, so the service is done by Bajaj Auto Company under the KTM umbrella. So ये जो बाइक्स जो सेल हो रही है ये KTM showrooms में हो रही है.
Okay.
It is sold in the KTM showroom. So KTM and Husqvarna are 2 brands which are sold under the KTM showrooms all across the country. And finally, you don't have to get worried because Bajaj Auto owns the entire lot. Well, now let's talk about these 2 motorcycles, the Svartpilen 250 and the Vitpilen 250. This is the Motown India show. Stay tuned. And as we go along, if you like the video, do not forget to give us the thumbs up, and equally important, if you're not subscribed to the Motown India channel, do so now. And like always, when you are on a moving two-wheeler, make sure you are wearing a proper helmet, a branded helmet certified by ISI, and also make sure that this is clipped on. Vitpilen, which means white arrow, and Svartpilen, which means black arrow, are priced at rupees 1.85 lakh ex-showroom approximately. These motorcycles basically fall under the lifestyle segment, and unlike the REs and Javas of the world, these are high-tech, high-performance motorcycles. While the KTM 250 Duke is more of a sporty kind of bike, these are meant for young urban riders who have a style of their own. Interestingly, the Vitpilen 250 and the Svartpilen 250 models are only made and sold in India. In around 30 countries where the Husqvarna is sold, only the 401 and 701 models are available. Another interesting thing about these bikes is its pricing. It is available around rupees 20,000 less than the 250 Duke at rupees 1,85,000 approximately. Internationally, Husqvarna products, whether they are the 401 or 701 models, they are more expensive than the KTM products. An exception has been made in India so as to attract customers towards the Husqvarna brand. These are introductory prices, I'm assuming. When it comes to its design, it is very minimalistic and sleek. The twin bikes are built on lightweight split trellis frame, and the rest you see are all made of plastic. On the fuel tank you get a smart company logo. Both the bikes get a 3D logo and name. And if you look minutely, you get to see the company logo stamped at one end of the textured seat. The bikes get a neoclassic headlamp and a distinct LED rear light with LED indicators. The Svartpilen 250 has a more rugged design with an upright stance. It comes with dual purpose tires and is capable of taking both on and a bit of off-road journeys. The Vitpilen 250 has a sportier design, clip-on handlebars and a front lean riding position. Interestingly, the Svartpilen and the Vitpilen were originally meant to be ridden solo. But in India, even though it is a lifestyle bike, we get a 5 cm longer seat, and there is a small rear grab rail too. For India and Indians, so as to ensure that people below 6 feet are able to ride the bike comfortably, the seat height is smartly adjusted at the rider's seating position. While the saddle height for both bikes is 842 mm for similar Husqvarna models in Europe, the rider seat height is a wee bit lower in India at around 830 mm, thus making it easy for shorter people. Since it has the same engine of the KTM 250 Duke, we shall be comparing both these bikes to the Duke. Both the models are 5 kg lighter than the KTM 250 Duke. While the 250 Duke weighs 171 kg, this is around 166 kg. This has been possible because of lighter rear subframe, lighter fuel tank and lighter alloy wheels. Then there are several forged parts instead of cast ones which make the Husqvarna lighter. The Svartpilen 250 has a metal tank rack on the plastic fuel tank. Now this rack is meant for metallic tank bags which can be purchased on e-commerce sites for around Rs 2000 to Rs 3000. It looks like a regular bag with shoulder straps, but if you want to place it on the tank, you can use the magnetic side of the bag to fix it on the tank. If you take a closer look at its plastic body, you get to feel it is flimsy. You wonder whether the plastic will be able to last in our rugged country. The number plate attachment is made of plastic. If this plastic support were to break, it would be very difficult for the number plate to be fixed back, unlike in a metal frame. You can always weld it back or screw it back somehow. Remember, in India, a lot of things are fixed in a jugaad fashion, either through welding or through Elfie instant glue. On the side of the bike where the gear shifter is located, there is a small key slot just beneath the handle. Once the key is twisted, your seat is unlocked and you can carefully pull it out or slip it out as the case may be to access your toolkit. While the Svartpilen comes with split seats, the Pilen seat is the one that opens. In the Vitpilen, since it is a single seat, the entire seat can be removed. While the color schemes are a wee bit different on the side panels and near the radiator grille, the bikes have different types of handlebars. The Svartpilen has hydro-formed mounting handlebar, while the Vitpilen has clip-on steel tube handlebar. The round speedometer has digital information pertaining to speed, RPM, low fuel indicator, engine temperature, gear position, odometer, etc. And it also has broad black buttons on the speedometer frame which can be adjusted for mode and settings that include trip meter reading, etc. Coming to engine and performance, the 250cc machines feature a fuel-injected, liquid-cooled, single-cylinder 4-stroke DOHC engine. The engine is mated to a 6-speed gearbox. In front you get USD fork with WP suspension. It is the same engine powering the KTM 250 Duke. The suspension too is similar to the Duke but has been tweaked for both the bikes. The fuel tank capacity of the bikes is 9.5 liters, and like in any modern bike, one must refrain from running it empty as it could damage the fuel pump. Since the motorcycles are almost identical in every which way, it is the handlebar that defines each one's role. The Svartpilen 250 has an upright stance. It comes with dual purpose tires and is capable of taking both on and a wee bit of off-road if you must. The Vitpilen has clip-on handlebars, and since you will have a front lean riding position most of the time, this bike is ideal for the city roads, and that too for not very long distances. It's on the lines of a cafe racer. One has to be really careful riding this bike around as it has a very low ground clearance as per Indian norms, where we have potholes and speed breakers that defy logic. But one thing I have to admit, you feel very young riding this bike. It is so sporty and so youthful in its riding character, and that could be the reason why Bajaj has been calling these lifestyle motorcycles. These bikes have the genes of a cafe racer, especially the Vitpilen, because of its clip-on handlebar, the agility of a sport bike, and along with the good looks, it makes them very attractive. Speed comes naturally to these bikes, and as you accelerate, it demands quick gear shifts. Since the gear throws are very short, you are able to slot into 5th and 6th in almost a jiffy. Ideal for college kids and the young at heart, this bike is speed from the word go. The Husqvarna bikes can be termed as fleet-footed as they are so full of life. This motorcycle is not meant to take you to your office, rather it is meant to take you to your la la land. You get what I mean?